In this video, we're going to take a look at an individual limit. I've got some things written over here that's going to help us with the algebra to manipulate this. All right, we do see an e to the 2x, so we're going to use our laws of exponents and just rewrite this so that we can see this as a power raised to a power. All right, so e to the x raised to the second is still e to the 2x. All right, and then when I rewrite that and place it right here, if I think of 1 being 1 squared minus e to the x squared, that's the difference of two squares. I can take a look at, oh, well, what is this? I can real easily factor this. So that's the approach we're going to take. All right, now with all limits, you should always check to make sure that a direct substitution does not work. So if I plug 0 in, I'm going to have 1 minus e to the 0, and then 1 minus e to the 0. That'll give me the 1 minus 1 over 1 minus 1. So I do have an indeterminate form here, which then tells us, okay, we have to go through some algebra to manipulate this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that limit notation in front because I'm just algebraically manipulating the equation at this point. So the limit as x approaches 0 of 1 minus e to the x. All right, we will rewrite the bottom as a 1 minus e to the x and then to the second power. All right, just so that we can be sure and understand where the steps are coming from, we'll go ahead and rewrite again the limit as x approaches 0, 1 minus e to the x, and then 1 squared minus e to the x squared. All right, at this point then I'm going to take this and I'm going to write this as the factored form of the difference of two squares. So the limit as x approaches 0, I'll have a 1 minus e to the x on the top. This bottom here is going to factor to a 1 minus e to the x times a 1 plus e to the x. All right, what that's going to allow me to do then is to cross off the binomial that's in the top with the binomial that is in the bottom. So I'm going to be down to the limit as x approaches 0 of 1 over 1 plus e to the x. All right, at this point now I'm ready to do that direct substitution. So if I'm doing a direct substitution, I'm taking 0 and putting that in for x. So I'll have a 1 over 1 plus e to the 0. E to the 0 is 1. I'll have a 1 plus 1 on the bottom. Overall limit then is going to be a 1/2. So definitely a pretty straightforward limit problem, especially that would become in a Calc 1 class. You've got to recognize how you're going to algebraically manipulate it in order to get that factored form so that something crosses out nicely. Definitely, thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, please share with your friends so they can benefit too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.